Good morning, second graders. Today is Thursday, April 30th, and it is the last day of April, but it is also the last day of your learning week. So tomorrow I have a teacher work day, and I will be busy working on all different things for you guys for the rest of the year. So today's story is another really one of my favorites. It's called 10 Little Rubber Ducks. And the author of this story is Eric Carle. And you will know Eric Carle as an author because lots of you know the book, The Very Quiet Cricket. He also wrote that book. And probably one of his most famous, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So Eric Carle wrote this book based on a real event, the event that I read to you yesterday. Today, you have an assignment. You are going to complete a Venn diagram in your Google Classroom, and I am going to ask you to type in 2 facts from Ducky that were specific only to Ducky, 2 facts from the book I'm going to read to you today, and 2 ways that the 2 books are the same. So before I start today's book, let's review yesterday. Yesterday's book was called Ducky, and in this book we learned that Ducky was on a cargo ship that crashed, and his crate broke open and all different kind of bath toys spilled out. Look how many bath toys are there. All different shapes, different animals. There were frogs, there were turtles, there were duckies. There were all different kinds of rubber bath toys. Okay, that's important. And the whole story went through how Ducky was scared. He almost got eaten by a shark, and then the shark spit him out. He got lonely after a while because all of his other rubber animal friends were not there. He floated on and on. He went upside down. He was by himself for a very long time until he washed onto the beach and a boy found him. And that boy lived in Alaska, and he brought the duck to school where we are assuming it's his teacher is keeping a science journal about how many animals were found. And then the story ends with the duck fulfilling his destiny in a bathtub, which is where he feels like he belongs. So that was yesterday's story. Today's version of that same incident from 1992 is by Eric Carle. And I'm going to read you his version of the story. And right at the beginning, this is Eric Carle. This is a little newspaper clipping of the event that really happened. It happened in 1992. 29,000 rubber bathtub toys, including ducks, beavers, turtles, and frogs, fell overboard from a container ship. And many of those toys have washed up on the shores of Alaska, while others have made it halfway around the world. So, another book about the same event. Here we go. Think about how this book is different. There's our 10 ducks. Chuckity, chuckity, chuck goes the rubber duck machine. Out pop little yellow rubber ducks, one after the other, one after the other. The little rubber ducks are painted. Bills are red, eyes are blue. Then they are packed, 10 to a box. Boys and girls, that's an important detail to think about. There's only 10 in each of these boxes, and off they go. To be loaded onto a cargo ship. Hello, calls the captain. The captain and his cargo ship are taking the little rubber ducks across the wide sea to faraway countries. To faraway countries. Suddenly, a storm churns the water into big waves. A strong wind whistles across the sea. Whistles across the sea. And you could start to see what happens here. A big wave lifts up one of the boxes and throws it into the water. The box opens and 10 little rubber ducks fall out. 10 rubber ducks overboard, shouts the captain. 10 rubber ducks overboard. Now I want you to think about that and think about what happened in the story Ducky from yesterday. After some time, the storm calms down. The 10 little rubber ducks bob in the big wide sea. As far as one can see, only water and sky. Only water and sky. The 10 little rubber ducks begin to drift apart. The first little rubber duck drifts west. A dolphin jumps over it. The second little rubber duck drifts east. A seal barks at it. The third little rubber duck drifts north. A polar bear growls at it. The fourth little rubber duck drifts south. A flamingo stares at it. Sorry, I'm having trouble with these pages. The fifth little rubber duck drifts to the left. A pelican chatters at it. The sixth little rubber duck drifts to the right. A turtle glides past it. The seventh little rubber duck drifts up. An octopus blinks at it. The eighth little rubber duck drifts down. A seagull screeches at it. The ninth little rubber duck drifts this way. A whale sings to it. The 10th little rubber duck drifts that way, bobbing and floating on the big wide sea. The sun is setting. It is getting dark. As far as one can see, only water and sky. Water and sky. The next morning, the 10th little rubber duck meets a mother duck and her ducklings. Quack, said the mother duck. Quack, 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 said the ducklings. At the end of the day, the sun sets again. It is getting dark. The mother duck and her ducklings swim toward their nest. The little rubber duck floats along with them. Good night, says the mom. Quack, says the mother duck. Oh, I'm sorry. Good night, says the moon. Quack, says the mother duck. Quack, 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 say the ducklings. Squeak, says the little rubber duck. And that's the end of Eric Carle's story, 10 Little Rubber Ducks. So, boys and girls, right now you should be thinking about how are these stories different? Think about the ending of this story. Think about the ending of Ducky. Think about Ducky and who he was with when he crashed overboard. Think about these guys and who they were with when they crashed overboard. And I also want you to think about how are these stories the same? And that will go in the middle of your Venn diagram. Okay? So, boys and girls, you're going to be comparing and contrasting these two stories today as your assignment. I really look forward to reading your responses. I really enjoy when I get work like this because I can really see what you're thinking, and I really enjoy that. So, this is a pretty big assignment for you to compare how are these stories the same and contrast how are these stories different. Okay, that is your assignment today. You will find it in Google Classroom under the classwork tab. Okay, thank you for paying good attention today. This was a really important lesson. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you are listening and enjoying both of these stories. Have a great learning day and have a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye.